this.
Penalti a favor del Real.
Well. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the VAR Check podcast by El Merengue Culé, the podcast where football's biggest debates go under review. Now, it's good to have the full lineup back again for this special episode 3. And guys, I know that everyone knows why this episode is so special. There's a big debate ahead of us tonight. We, to this moment, have not discussed the results of Ballon d'Oro, but you know that's going to take the main spotlight of the night. So let's go ahead and reminder, everyone start hitting that like button to get this podcast pushed out to more and more viewers. The more viewers we have, the more fun we're going to have, the more comments, the better. So I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. Yes, there is a lot to talk about. A couple other things that we'll be discussing tonight is obviously the Champions League Matchday 1 results, not just Barcelona, not just Real Madrid, but a lot of them, and also updating our power rankings that we came up with the first episode. And then the final conversation point will be what happened in La Liga this weekend and also the midweek games that we have coming up this week. So without further ado, Michel, I wanna hear your headline for tonight. Give us a little something, a little juice. Let's get going.
Well, first things first, I'm happy to be back. I'm sorry to everybody watching who, was with us in our first episode. I was not able to be in attendance for the last podcast, but hopefully that is the last time that we will be here. I am back and we are excited and we got a lot of shit to talk about today. For me, as I was coming back home, you see the news that our boy, won the Ballon d'Oro, which really isn't my boy. He used to be your boy over there on the other cubicles over there. So I don't know how you guys feel about that one, letting someone like that go. But I'm just excited to be back here with my brothers. I'm excited to see and feel the connections from everybody around the world who we know that watches this podcast. And I'm here, and we are hoping to grow this family. But I'm gonna kick it off to them because I would hate to see a Ballon d'Oro winner play on our team just a few years ago. So I want to say, Ricky, I'm going to pass the torch off to you. Ricky, how do you feel?
We're starting off hot and toxic. I like it.
Well, let's answer the first question. How do I feel about letting him go? Good. He didn't want to be at the club, so we shut him the door. He walked out. We offered him that contract, and he walked out. So how do I feel about letting him go? Good. How do I feel about him winning the Ballon d'Oro? Like shit. Fuck him. Fuck him, dude. Like the moment, what did it for me, any player is free to come and go. But what did it for me is when he scored against us and he celebrated. He celebrated like the team didn't fucking give everything for him. Whenever he was injured, the whole squad pulled out there with Dembélé jerseys. Get better soon. He forgets about all that. Yeah, maybe he remembers those bad comments that some people, like myself now, gave. But for me, he's dead to me.
Dead.
Ali, let's hear
if you
your
see
thoughts.
right here, this saying, Mesquite Club, so Thierry Henry has an interview that's super common. It's probably on the internet for so many years. When he first got to Barca, he was making fun of this saying. And Xavi back then told him, whenever you win something for the club, then you can't say anything about it. And it was the same thing as Ricky said. He didn't want to be a part of this. So good riddance. It's fine. He won the Ballon d'Or. It's unfair. Typically is. It doesn't matter. But
now they agree that it's typically unfair.
Imagine a player that was injured for 3 seasons. He gets better under Xavi, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm leaving because I can't play," and and then celebrates against Barca after scoring. Like, you don't want that on your team anyway. So Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this though. I mean, when you're the headline of yes, like because Madrid has had players that throw tantrums and don't want to be there too. But then when you get past the emotions of everything, you have to ask yourself, well, why could he not perform at the level that he would in Spurs? But what was it that was holding him back? Why wasn't he able to produce the same way that he was producing at PSG? And especially in this last year, because we always knew he was a player that could play with both feet. He had, he was explosive. He kind of had that same, skill set that Vini has as far as, you know, the explosiveness, the ability to take players 1v1. And honestly, he's probably better with Vini as far as his striking abilities go with both feet. And then him scoring and
100%.
celebrating against Barça, that to me says there's something more that's going on. I mean, you guys are known, especially the last few years, for having a lot of drama behind your club. So what is happening behind the scenes that is making a player feel that way, where if you're giving him the money, he's like, you know what? I'm good.
I think there's two things about this. I think we, as the fan base, got frustrated with him. Now, I mean, obviously because of the fact that he kept on getting injured. We cannot deny the fact that that's frustrating whenever you pay world record fee 120 million for a player that kept on getting injured and injured and injured. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was whenever there were rumors of him wanting to leave for free. That's when the whole Barcelona fan base really switched up. And at the time, and you can pull up the video, I was all for keeping him. I've always said it. This guy has every potential to be the best player in the world. He just couldn't finish. He just wasn't smart. He just lacked that that killer mindset that this year truly he showed. But I think he was also stuck in a very unfortunate part of Barcelona's history. Half in which he was stuck with Las Vacas Sagradas, the Messis, the Busquets, the Suarez, these club legends that won absolutely everything and demanded to play absolutely every minute and held every authority more than the coach did at the time. Dembele just got unlucky that's where he started from, right? And then soon after, he fell into a period where Barca no longer had money. Barca no longer were in top form. And he went from kind of this toxic state to a Barca that had, I mean, if you look at the team, our striker was De Jong, right? Luke De Jong. He wasn't patient with us. I think if he was in the team that we have right now, I think he would do a lot better, just like he's doing better in the team with PSG. And he wasn't patient enough with us, and I guess we weren't patient enough with him. I think that's the issue.
So definitely. Go ahead, Amir. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say it is worth mentioning that he won Ballon d'Or and Champions League under somebody who also coached Barcelona, under Luis Enrique. So it's a
that doesn't bring the trophy back to you.
No, but I mean the coaching tactics are still similar to what you would see at Barcelona, like how PSG is playing.
Which
It's
raises the
different.
question: why couldn't he deliver the same way when he was playing?
But okay,
for you guys?
we're not gonna go in circles. I mean, I do think Ricky hit it on the spot where it was a multifactorial thing.
Yeah.
Dembele started with a toxic team. Dembele was injury prone at that time, and Dembele wasn't patient enough. All of those things combined for him to, unfortunately, for Barcelona fans, have to exit the team. And for his fortune, he ended up going to a team that at first didn't trust him so much because, well, not that they didn't trust him, but he had actually Mbappé in front of him. He had other players ahead of him, but got just like the stars didn't align for Dembele while he was in Barcelona, the stars aligned for him when he was at PSG. And so, here he is, a Ballon d'Or winner. I will say to kind of open up the whole Lamine Yamal and Dembele, I was watching the live stream. I'm at work watching this live stream, El Chiringuito, as they're covering the gala, and they're covering as Dembele, as all the players are exiting the car and to walk into the gala. And whenever Lamine Yamal walked out, he walked out with the biggest smile. I mean, he was like laughing, he was smiling. Laporta was laughing and smiling. Flick was there too. Cubarsi and Rafinha. It's all like they were having a party. And within El Chiringuito, everyone was saying Lamine Yamal is going to win. I mean, they were giving it to him. And I mean, in that moment, I was starting to feel this like internal like defeat, desperation, because I was like, it's happening again. So all I want to say is I'm ultimately glad that Dembélé won it, because I do think he is the rightful winner for this Ballon de Oro. I do think he had the right merits. He won the right trophies. And if it would have been Lamine Yamal, as great of a player as I think he is, I think it would have been an unfair win title for him, trophy. So I am glad that Dembélé won it. Whether he's actually the best player in the world or not, I still do question. But did he have the best season and the best attributes to win this title, this trophy? I do think so. Michel, I don't know if you got any other comments about him or
I think the whole trophy is it's a very fluid thing, because I feel other than the Messi Cristiano era, there was no, like, those were the two best players in the world, hands down, every year, and it wasn't close. And I think since we've had them leave European football, it's hard to say that they are the best player, because when Luka Modric won it, I don't think Luka Modric was the best player.
No,
I think what it comes down
wasn't.
to, one, it's a popularity contest. There's no secret about that, right? And two, I think who plays the best when the lights are the brightest in the right moment. It's kind of like being at the right place at the right time, playing the best, because I think if you're talking talent-wise, skill, potential, I think Lamine Yamal is a better player than Dembele.
I agree.
But
I like watching Lamine Yamal better.
But Dembele scored a ton of goals when it counted. He was playing great comp, and he won the Champions League. So it's like, again, the reason why I feel like the Rodri thing from last year was a little neither here nor there. It's like, I think winning has to be a part of it. And yes, it's an individual sport and a team game, but that's kind of how it goes all the way around. You have to win something, and winning just La Liga or the Copa del Rey is not going to get you to be the player of the year, the best player.
Honestly, I don't disagree with y'all that Dembele, I wouldn't say it's a robbery, right?
No.
I think Dembele was like a great contender. I'm not for my own mental health, I'm not going to say the best one, but I also wouldn't deny it, right? But to play devil's advocate with you, if we're talking about winning championships, then we also have to talk about losing championships. And he went goalless in a final, lost to Chelsea in the Club World Cup.
For sure.
Which is another factor to consider.
Sure.
A trophy that Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, any Barcelona player didn't get the chance to play. Right? So it's like, all right, that definitely got to knock him down a few points.
Yeah. Well, that's when the teeter-tottering goes neither here nor there, because the year prior, Vini scored in the Champions League final. So and he still didn't win it, to a team that didn't even make it to the final. Did they make it to the semifinal? I don't remember. So it's why I think the Ballon d'Oro, it's a cute trophy to have. Their agents are going to be grateful because they can boost their contract, negotiations. But like, it's hard. I think Lamine is going to win it at some point. But I also think in just what did he say? Yamal lost the Nations League final as well. Yeah. But it's a hard trophy just to say this is the best player in the world, because I don't think there is right now, I don't think there is a clear, like there was, years and years ago, where it's like, these are the two guys. We don't have that.
We got too used to the whole Messi, Ronaldo, just absolute dominant players that were not just scoring every single goal possible, but also winning all the finals. So in a way, our mentality is skewed into this trophy. And I think right now we're having to actually shift back into what I think more normal life and for the rest of our lives will be in the Ballon d'Oro. Amir, I don't know if you got any final comments on either Dembélé or Lamine Yamal before I shift the focus, still within this Ballon d'Oro gala, but different conversation.
I'm actually happy Lamine Yamal didn't win the trophy, not because
Okay, I like that. I like that.
yeah, the reason is because one, he's so young, and this
Yeah.
could have hindered his progress of like growth and like, I mean, however you put it, he's still not fully mature, emotionally, physically, mentally, like to be able to
I
handle.
think ego's his biggest battle.
Right, yeah. So, and you've seen this, like you've seen that get destroyed in so many ways. Like he's not Messi, no matter how much we want him to be, and it will impact him. So, who I was upset about was Rafinha being fifth. That was the only thing that bothered me about that whole thing, and Lamine Yamal being second. Like, yeah, he's a phenomenal player, but I really think Rafinha played a huge role in that rank in Barca's season.
I'd go as far as to say I think Rafinha. I personally would have put Rafinha over Lamine Yamal.
I
Impact
agree.
on the
I
team,
agree
think
also.
impact on the season. Rafinha's goal scoring record this Champions League season was that comparable to Ronaldo's historic, and you can't compare anymore, right? The Champions Leagues are two different competitions now than it was then. But I mean, I personally think Rafinha was a better all around player than Lamine Yamal.
I agree. I think if we pick if we look at La Liga, just La Liga, who was the best player for Barcelona in La Liga in their winning La Liga campaign? I put Rafinha as the number one. Who was Barca's best player in the Copa del Rey title? I would put Ferran Torres. He scored the most goals, whatever.
Sure.
And then in the Champions League, a combination of all of them. Yes, Lamine Yamal has the most talent and maybe the most potential to be the better player of all of them. 100%. I think no one will deny that, and I think if you think Rafinha has more talent than Lamine Yamal, that'd very much debate you in. But who had the better season? I agree.
I think Rafinha
had a better season. Yeah, and I think
agree.
that's a unanimous decision there. And Amir, you gave us a perfect segment because my switch up was to talk about this top 10 and the way that they came out. So I'm glad that you brought up Rafinha. The other player that I want to talk about right now is Vitinha, because if we look at the same logic for which Rodri won the Ballon de Oro, then that is the same logic for why Vitinha should have won the Ballon de Oro, or if not, been second place and been competing for it. He won the Champions League. He won the Nations League with Spain. He was instrumental to that PSG's midfield. I mean, I think it's arguable, but one of the best midfielders right now, if not the best of the season. So Vitinha could have been higher up. I mean, Mo Salah had a great Premier League, but in the Champions League, he fell very short.
Yeah. Like I agree. Mo Salah in the Premier League did everything he could. In the beginning of the Champions League, Liverpool were number one, merit to them, but quite frankly, they just got eliminated a little too early in the Champions League. In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. It seems like we're all pretty much agreeing and saying the same thing. One thing for the people listening, and I think we all would love to. Whenever you guys leave a comment, I would love to hear where you guys are watching from. That way we can kind of get a grand viewership of we're interested in seeing where you guys are from, not just what you have to say as far as the topics that we're talking about, but we want to connect with you guys, not just here in the United States, but all around the world. So when you guys are commenting, if you guys want to, leave us a little description of where you guys are at.
I think the first episode we had their name was Real Madrid fan, and something like that. And they were in the middle of class. They were in the middle of class listening to the podcast. I mean, that's huge. So definitely let us know where you're watching from, what you're doing, what time it is in the day, because that is a killer. Look, we got the first one here.
Canada.
From Canada. France.
Sick. How cold is it in Canada right now? I wonder. I don't know. Netherlands.
Oh,
yeah. Ethan Guerre from France. I mean, this is straight from
Guerre.
source.
What a name.
He's named after a cheese. No, that's a different name. Never mind.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, we love that. Thank you guys for commenting and liking the videos and being with us. This is only episode 3. We are going to keep taking this forward. So we love that we have your guys' support, not just here but all over. But we should, I think, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Let's keep it going. I think we had a pretty solid conversation with the whole Ballon de Oro gala and everything. I think everyone is in almost agreeance as to the majority of the results. The final I guess media that I had gotten down was just the complete top 30 list. And let me see if it come up here. Yeah, where we got Pedri as 11th. Kvaratskhelia, who had, I think Kvaratskhelia was the reason why PSG turned around their season.
I agree.
He came in mid-season and turned PSG from a team that barely made it into the playoffs to literally the Champions League winners. So Kvaratskhelia definitely gets a lot of merit. If he had, this season is going to be his first full season in PSG, and I think has potential to really break that top 10. Any player that you guys, would make an argument should be higher or lower in this list?
Sorry, I'm trying to show my shirt. It says Pedri right in the back. So, yeah, there is no way he should have been 11th. I thought he was so fundamental to Barca's success domestically and across the nations. And for Spain too. I would argue he should be in top 10, but I'm also very biased. He's one of my favorite players. So
I think
he is. Yeah.
Pedri's like an unsung hero.
The thing is, when
he's starting to get the recognition now. But yeah.
Yeah. I think Pedri could have broken in the top 10. I think when I look at the top 10 right now, maybe Nuno Mendes could go out. Donnarumma had a phenomenal season. He ended up winning the best goalie of the year award, and I think that's enough to put you in the top 10 players of the season. Yeah. But aside from that, Hakimi was phenomenal. I think I would put Pedri number 10 over Nuno Mendes, who obviously was a great left back for PSG, but maybe not the top 10 player in the world.
So how do you guys feel about Cole Palmer, number 8? I think for me,
it's too early.
For the whole season, I wouldn't put him number 8. If you're you got to factor in the Club World Cup. Of course you do.
I think we're seeing the effects of the Club World Cup in the rankings.
Yeah, but to me, if you consider his whole season, I don't know if I'd put him number 8.
I would put Kvaratskhelia over Cole Palmer.
Me too.
Here we have Olise should have been higher, best Bayern player. Olise is great, 30th, but I don't think he's better than Harry Kane personally.
No, I
think Olise breaking the top 30 is a huge accomplishment for him already, especially in his first season at Bayern. But I would take that as his compliment, and he can only go up from there, honestly, because he is a phenomenal talent.
Yeah,
McTominay
had a good season, but 18 is a little too.
18 great. Is too damn high. Yes. Oh wait. Michels Napoli. Yes, he was a leader in Michels Napoli, but 18 does seem a little bit high.
A little high.
I would put Declan Rice over McTominay.
Yeah.
Yes. He took Arsenal to the semifinals. Was a
single-handedly
against Madrid. I agree.
Same with Dumfries. Dumfries had a good Champions League. But anyways.
He did.
Here we see, let's see, Mr. Palmer Killer 123. Palmer should be 20.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'm with you.
Pretty fair. Yeah, definitely deserves to be in the top 30.
Which is not bad.
No.
Top 20 player in the world. Like we're talking about it like being you're the top 20 players in the world. And he's only going to get better. And I think he recently he picked up an injury this past week. So hopefully he gets better. But like we're talking about players being 11, 12, 15, 18, 20. Like that's really good. Not everybody can be 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure. And I think here Ethan Guerre puts a really good comment. The problem with how Ballon d'Oro works is that the jurors only vote for the top 10 players. So beyond the top 10 rankings is often illogical. And that's true because a lot of these players here got some points in the other for people that were voting for them to be top 3, and so that's how they end up, getting in this ranking. I just saw, by the way, Erling Haaland number 26. Erling Haaland is way better. I think in a regular season, Erling Haaland can easily be top 10, if not potentially Ballon d'Or winner, right? But City had a terrible season, which I get why he's so low. Let's see final comments. Nuno and Hakimi should have been switched. Hakimi's a bit too high. I don't know. I rate Hakimi much higher than I rate Nuno Mendes. I think
Nuno Mendes had the success with Portugal. I think that's why maybe he's saying
that's fair. I won't give my opinion on this one, but what do y'all think about Vini at 16?
I think it's too high.
It's a huge drop off.
It is
from where he was last season, which is definitely deserved with how his season went. And I think the reason why he's too high is because he's coming from that potentially best player in the world to now, having a terrible season?
It's fine. He could be higher, he could be lower, he could be just where he's at. He did not have a good season last year, unfortunately. I think the effects of not winning the Ballon d'Oro since the World Cup, really, he hasn't really been the same mentally. And I think he's dealing with a lot of things that we talked about in the first episode. And I think I'm excited to see under Xabi Alonso where he falls into line this year, which could be a topic based on what happened this week.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
But I think it's fine. He didn't have a good season. We all know he didn't. He knows he didn't. It's a wash.
Yeah, it's interesting. So why don't we use this comment here? Vini will finish third next year as a perfect segment to move on from the Balón de Oro Gala into a little more Real Madrid and Barcelona, starting with Real Madrid. And here's the main headline or not the main headline, but one of the big ones. Vini Jr. was benched in the Champions League opener against Marseille, and then in the La Liga game this past weekend, comes off minute 70 or so, and definitely puts on a face of disgust and has been a talking point in Xabi Alonso's interviews about whether it's fair, whether he's going to be getting a lot more playing time, what's going on. All right, guys, let's get the conversation going. Who's going first?
Yeah, I can go first. So
Go ahead, Amir. I'm ready. Let's do
so
this.
it's unfortunate. He's one of my. Okay, take this with a grain of salt. He's one of my favorite players in the sense of how he plays. I don't like him as like his personality against Barca specifically, but yeah, it was interesting. I was reading the headlines today, and he's considering he's like, oh, if there were rumors that if the situation doesn't improve, he's considering an exit in January, and then yeah, and Madrid was I think in response, more rumors were speculating, saying, oh, the release clause can increase to 1 billion euros if that were to happen. But I mean, at the same time, he's been playing for so long at such a top level at a top club like Real Madrid that we also forget that he's 25 years old. He's literally still so young. So
his brain is barely fully developing.
Right, yeah, and you can see him in the way he plays. So okay, but yeah, so some maturity is still developing. He's been so controversial, which is so sad because he's such a great player. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. One other thing, just about, I mean, I'm gonna it's not exactly about Vinny, but it's just Mastantuono has been so impressive. He is a phenomenal player. But yeah, that's all I got.
I'll keep mine short, and then I'll keep mine short, and then I'll let y'all take it over from here. Okay. I think Xabi Alonso not playing Vini, I would consider it an investment. Why? Because I think he needs to humble him down just a little bit. Teach him that it's not right to be making himself the victim every single time, that he's not necessarily always going to be the superstar. He's the number one, right? You've got Mbappé, and they have to learn to work together. To work together with the whole team. And if Vini can't do that and he wants to leave in December, then that might be a dub. Again, if he's going to be toxic, that might be a dub. And if Vini can wrap his head around that and keep his head down, work hard, not talk as much, and just show his actions on the field, then there's your victory. Yeah. An investment, that's what I call it.
Michel, you're gonna get the final say in this. I just want to throw in there that I definitely have noticed that this season, a Vini that is a lot more calm. He's not yelling at the refs as much as we saw maybe the previous seasons. He's not getting into these face-to-face arguments with the opposition, which is good. We needed to see an improvement in Vini's character, in Vini's emotions. And I think Xabi Alonso plays a big role. So yes, just like Ricky said, not just Xabi Alonso benching him, an investment to get him to be more competitive, to remind him, hey, your spot here isn't guaranteed, but also, to fix his emotions. I think the whole Rodrigo drama has actually also helped in a way, because now Rodrigo is considered the second left winger at Real Madrid, and the one that's going to bring the competition to Vini. At the end of the season, I think Vini, as the season progresses, I think Vini will become the starter, but it'll always be good to have Rodrigo on his ass. because Rodrigo is no bad player. You know, he's gonna definitely push Vini to new limits that Vini hasn't been pushed in the past seasons. Michel, go ahead.
So this is what I think. I think Xabi Alonso is bringing fucking balls to this team, and everybody in the chat can we can start rolling the comments now. He finally is sitting these players down. And he say, "I don't care who you are. I don't care who you play for. I play for the team that won La Décima. I was here. I was playing at the top level. I was coached by all these different coaches." Xabi Alonso does not care about Vini Jr.'s temper tantrums. And he's like, "Listen, you're an amazing player, and I would love to have you on our team." It's kind of like when you go through a breakup. It's like, "Listen, I'm not."
It's not
I
you,
would
it's me.
literally, no, not even that, but it's like, I would love for you to be here, but if you don't want to be here, the door's right there. And I'm not saying I want Vini to go, but him benching Vini in Marseille was just another reminder of, hey, you play when I tell you you're going to play. And also, one thing that we all forget if we're taking away the deep intricacies of what this all means, this Madrid squad doesn't know what it feels like to be rotated because Ancelotti never did it, which is why you see players getting hurt, why you see them playing tired. Like, we're not used to being like, Vini's not going to play. What do you mean he's not going to play? That happens all the time. It's like Marseille is a well, coached team. They're a great team, for the French league. But Rodrigo can get the job done against Marseille. It's not like we're putting in someone from Real Madrid Castilla to play against the first team of Marseille. Like, it's Rodrigo, right? Give Vini a little break, let him be fine. And then look at what happened when he came on. He's explosive. He can execute against these players and defenders who are tired. And then he starts the next game. And then he says, hey, tactical things happen. I need to change this up. You're coming out. And he said the same thing with Mastantuano. And I always watch the press conferences afterwards. And he's like, players are going to get mad. No one likes to be taken out because they all want to play. And he said, well, Mastantuano was also pissed. And he was like, Franco was like, you're taking me out? He's like, yes, I'm taking you out.
Showing personality.
Xabi doesn't care. He's like, I'm here to win games. I'm not here to make sure I'm your favorite coach. And there's a balance between, kind of being that father figure like Ancelotti was to being like a tactician and saying, hey, this does not work for how I need to win this game. And there's no secret that Madrid they haven't lost. And I'm not saying that they're playing against the best competition. I'm not saying that they, didn't get helped out here and there by whatever the case is, but they haven't lost. And I think I saw a stat that even yet in La Liga, they haven't been scored on in open play.
Yeah,
so it's like they're taking an exponential jump, because I remember all the pundits for ESPN FC were saying they don't have a defense, they don't have a midfield, all they have is Mbappé. And it's like, well, we haven't really been scored on, and we're still having to deal with problems in the back line because Trent got hurt, Carvajal's getting red card, Dean, which we can talk about at some point either this episode or next one, he's also getting dumb red cards. It's like we're still having to deal with adversity, but this is not a one-man show. And really, if we're really going to put the mic drop and the stamp on this is Mbappe's team now. This is not Vini's team. This is Mbappe's team. And I think Vini is getting to that. No, I think he is understanding, I am no longer the number one, which is probably taking some pressure off of him, which is probably why he's not acting out the same way that he was, because there's not that much, things boiling in the pot where he's like, oh, I can relax a little bit. I hope.
Yeah. I think it's spot on. And just to finish off, I think this can only be good for Real Madrid and for Vini. Xabi Alonso is coming to Madrid and being their savior for Vini and for Madrid. But you touched on it. That was my next topic. I wanted to bring up, speaking about emotional maturity and how Vini's not quite there yet. Here we have our captain, the captain of Real Madrid, in a Champions League game, tied 1-1 with 25 minutes to go, and gets the dumbest red card possible. I mean, what are we thinking?
I think it comes down to experience. I mean, we all know Carvajal is one of the most veteran players at Real Madrid, but what kind of experience does he have playing alongside Pepe, playing alongside Ramos? He defaulted to what he knew. Can you blame the guy? I don't think so.
No, but it's just dumb. And it's one thing if he comes in with a hard tackle because the player was about to go on a one-on-one. I don't know, whatever.
whatever.
Fine. It's okay to get a red card sometimes, which we can talk about the hoist and stuff, which, Hoyson gets another red card. It was also a little silly, maybe. He had Militão, whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But this was completely avoidable. It's just him getting heated, getting in a goalie's face, and doing what he exactly knows always ends up in a red card. And just
Especially now with VAR.
a man down. With VAR, exactly. It's like, dude, in what world did you think this was going to be okay and that you were just going to get a little slap in the back, in the wrist, and say, hey, don't do it again?
Slap in the back.
You slap in the back. I mean, come on. And then he leaves Madrid, a man down in a Champions League game, in a game where you're at home, you cannot afford
in a game
to
that you
tie.
already took out your right back. He didn't even start the game.
He didn't even start the game. It's absolute just being dumb. Just being dumb. So I
wish
don't
I
know
could
if you got
hear Xabi
any
Alonso's-
final things about that.
I wish I could hear what Xabi Alonso said to him behind closed doors.
In the locker room, yeah. To your captain,
In the locker room?
screaming to
Yeah.
your captain. I'm sure.
I'm sure it was really. I mean, I'm sure it was direct. I think maybe calm. I would love to see what their. If I was Alonso, I would sit down with the entire defense unit and whatever defensive coaches that they have that are working with them and say, guys, we need to be more disciplined. We can't be having players getting thrown out every other game. Especially for something like that, man. It's like you got to just be smart. And I think it has to do with he's just excited and he's got a lot of energy and a lot of rage because he hasn't been playing because he was hurt. And I think it's just like not dealing with your emotions. Because I'm a player. I still play now. Like I get heated, but like I know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. And when you got to think as a player, nothing you do is hidden anymore. You do a little thing, like even if you barely touch him, which he didn't, he barely touched him, and that goalie is a horrendous actor.
Sure. Yeah.
But he
yeah,
got the job
he
done.
exaggerated the hell out of
And
it.
in
But
my
we all
mind,
knew
it's
what was
like,
going to happen.
and if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. Like if you're gonna hit him, you might as well hit him. Because like
Just
you're gonna
full
get
on,
thrown out. Yeah, like or just give him a little, like, and do a little something, something. But I don't know. I think
Yeah, learn
Whatever.
from Zidane, the best.
yeah.
The starter of this trend.
exactly.
No,
Zidane did it right. Zidane did it right.
but I think that puts Xabi Alonso in a really tricky situation because now you're forced to talk to an ex-teammate. It's not just another 18-year-old kid that you're like trying to show, experience, whatever. It's you're talking to an old teammate, and you have to sit down and, in my opinion, like rip his ass. Be like, come on, this is just stupid and avoidable.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Not-
it's also showing a little bit of like the change that Xabi Alonso is bringing to the team. Also, like the dynamics of the teams of Madrid is changing. So there's that pressure that Michel talked about. Like the dynamic of all these players being important are not as important because they're getting replacements, and the replacements are playing better. So it's like slowly built that rage, and then he hasn't played in a million years. So you're gonna be
Yeah,
like that.
it was a little bit of.
I'm reading the comment down below. Okay, I just want to clarify to everybody watching. I'm not saying that he should have punched him in the face.
Yeah, why
I'm
are
just
you
saying
instigating violence, Michel?
if
What's
you're,
going on?
I'm not. I think with
Classic
violence,
Madrid
I don't condone
Typical
violence. But I'm
Ramos.
saying if you're gonna get a red card for touching your little hairs touching his nose, like.
He doesn't
You
have
might as well
much
have
hair.
your forehead touch him. Exactly. My point exactly. Like if you're barely gonna touch him, you might as well touch him a little bit harder and get the same amount. Like leave a little something, something. Not saying to punch him in the face. I don't condone violence unless it's, no, I'm not gonna say that.
Well, anyways,
But
I
yes, shit
agree
happens, we
with
move
Mr.
on.
Killer 1-3. Shit happens. We move on. I felt like it was something that had to be spoken because Carvajal has shown tendencies of being hot-headed, and thank God this was just a not as important Champions League game. But if this is a semifinal, a quarterfinal, or a final, it has the potential to lose you a title. So I felt like it had to be discussed. But with that being said, the final talking point that I have for Real Madrid's Champions League game, a very controversial moment. Just when we thought that Real Madrid was going to drop 2 points, Vini, of all people, takes a player on. The Marseille defender slide tackles. He won the ball, if I remember correctly. He won the ball, whatever. But as he's going down, his right hand touches the ground and his left hand touches the ball.
What
Let's
do you
get
think?
it going. This
I'm
is
curious. What do you?
the VAR check moment of the episode 3.
Rodrigo, what do you think? I'm curious. We've all kind of been doing our thing. I want to hear what you got to say. You lead the way.
I think okay. In the game when I was watching it, I'm biased because of course I want Real Madrid to get the penalty to get the dub. Is it harsh? Yes, it's harsh because was the player intentionally trying to swipe the ball away from Vini? No. Was the intention there? No, it wasn't. But almost every penalty that happens because of a handball, is it intentional? No. We see how many penalties do we see when the defender when the attacker crosses the ball and the defender is sliding to try to block the cross and his arm is a little bit out and the ball touches his hand, and guess what? A penalty gets called. So in this situation, guess what? The defender tried to slide tackle to get the ball out of harm's way, and in the process, took it out with his left hand, his non-supporting hand. And we have that rule where the supporting hand is the hand that if you touch it with your supporting hand, it's not a handball. Suddenly, you cannot have two supporting hands, and in the picture, you can clearly see that his right hand on the complete other side is his literal supporting hand. So, do I think it's harsh? Yes. Do I think it's a handball and a penalty? Yes.
What do you want him to do with that hand? What do you want him to do with that hand?
Get it out of the way, apparently. Just
Don't
remove
touch
it.
the ball, baby.
Amputate it.
Hit the back of his head.
How about you use your feet to hit the ball and not your hand?
It was a natural
yeah.
position for his
You don't even
arm.
believe what you're saying.
See, I like this, bro. I needed to come back and look at this. We getting the fire rolling right now. Let's go. Yo,
Come on. I mean, it is what it is.
Let me give me a second to look up the rule. But I don't see why you can't have two sliding arms. Look, if I'm being honest, would I slide with two arms? No.
What the fuck are you? You don't even believe what you're saying.
Huh?
Yeah.
No. I mean, he slides.
So then, when is it a handball? Then when is it a handball?
So a handball is when it's like your arm is like considered like enlarged.
His arm was not in a natural. I mean,
it was a natural position.
I think
his arm was like his right arm touches the ground first, which is your argument, right? His right arm should be the supporting arm, but the left arm was like coming in just slightly delayed.
I think it was the swiping motion,
like,
bro.
In my opinion, that left arm was 110% still gonna support his weight. It was just divided like that weight was just divided into two.
So then you have
by the nature of the game, the nature of the slide tackle, that's how he slid, and both were gonna support his weight. So in my opinion, both are then considered supporting hands.
But that just means that you have the wrong form of slide tackling. Like there's right techniques for slide tackling. You cannot be slide tackling like this. If you're gonna slide tackle with both of your arms as supporting hands and raise your arms to swiping the ball away, then that in itself is wrong.
I mean, he can slide tackle like this. He's not a mummy. Like he's not gonna be like. Just he's running.
I think it's penalties that this rule was meant for. Where it's like you're sliding, like protect the ability to slide. You did it a little differently than most people. I'm not denying that. Would I slide like that? No, but I still think it's a supporting arm.
Okay.
It's supporting his weight 110%. You watch that video. If that ball doesn't,
you cannot slide tackle with two hands on the ground. Like what is this?
Who? Says who? Let me look up the rule.
That's fair.
Listen, I think what it comes down to, and you guys touched on it on the last episode. If you slide, I'm
putting it back up.
If you slide tackle, it's a risk. You can hit the player. He could hit the player. The ball.
He took a risk and he lost.
Okay, but I also think it was the swiping motion as well. Like again, I agree with you. Yeah.
No, there's not.
I'm not saying it was a full drag. I'm saying watch the clip back.
He was not trying to get the ball with his hand at all.
I'm not saying he was trying to.
And whips that arm back.
I'm not saying I think it was harsh. And I'm actually gonna say this as a Madrid fan. I can see what you're saying, Rodrigo, and as a Madrid fan, I'm happy it happened. I personally, if it was the other way around, I would have complained that it was called. Now, I think this comes down to what you guys were touching on in the second episode with VAR, and we were talking about the Arda Gula the handball, and how there have been other instances this year where the handball and the lack of refereeing abilities, in my opinion, has been up to par. The only thing worse than the refereeing and the VAR system this year was Barcelona's salmon kit that I saw you guys wearing the other day. I'm sorry about that. I gotta say, I'm just saying, but like it's been atrocious. And I think this was yet again another moment of VAR. I mean, I can't really explain it because I'm kind of with Ricky. Like, what can you do? You know, you are sliding. I see what you're saying. It's not his, supported hand. You can go either way. I think it's a tough pill, but at the end of the day, Madrid is playing in the Bernabeu. It's Champions League, all eyes on the world. Barca gets these same calls too. The big clubs get the calls when it comes down to it, and that's just, in my opinion, what it comes down to. I'm not gonna hide it. It happens, and I think that was an instance where the referee felt pressure, and Madrid has been in the media a lot talking about refereeing, and I think the pressure built in that moment, and they called it. And I think that's what it comes down to. And it
I had
sucks.
a chance.
Football is like that.
I had a chance to look at the rule. Per the rule book, if
A su madre, we got a referee here.
In rare situations in which two-arm situation arises, like it did this time, if a player truly lands on both arms supporting their body weight, like let's say like they're sliding on their belly, or what we saw this past week, each arm is judged separately, right? In practice, referee still asks, is this arm clearly supporting the player's weight as part of a natural fall? In which I would argue, from my interpretation of the clip I saw, the game, I think both arms were supporting it.
I wish we could play the clip right now so we can see and dissect it as we were watching it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Then we would get demonetized and
Yeah, I know.
banned from YouTube for forever.
But everyone watching right now in the Netherlands and Canada, go watch the clip, leave a comment. Let's see what you guys think.
I mean, ultimately, we want to hear from you guys now at this point, what y'all thought about this controversial call. I think we've kind of hit it from every angle that we possibly can.
So did he. So did he. With his hand.
So let's move on. I think it's time to switch gears to Barcelona's side, because in episode 2, one of the debates was what the starting lineup was going to be for Barcelona, and Ricky and Amir were big on the importance of Rashford starting this game. And what happened?
He's a legend. He's a damn legend.
Oh my God.
He's a legend now.
No, I mean, okay, what I said last week, I mean, we saw it happen. He's an English player in St. James Park. Like, it's going to pay off. Like, versus playing, like, I don't know. Yeah, versus playing Ferran Torres, which I think Ferran Torres under Hansi Flick has been phenomenal. So don't get me wrong by saying that, but I think Rashford was a great choice for that game. He was motivated. You saw him make runs and then take a shot that I would have never expected him to take in the past. Like when he was at United. Like United was looking at that game and they were like, "What have we done?" So. Yeah,
I think Manchester United is having one of those moments that Amir and I, as Barcelona fans, are having today. We saw Dembélé win the Ballon d'Oro, and Manchester United right now are seeing their star boy leave and hit good success at another club. I think I would honestly, I wish I had I do have a Manchester United friend. I guess I could call him up and ask him. But if you're if you're a fan, let me know down below. I think it's definitely going to be tough for them. However, I think at the end of the day, putting him over Ferran Torres was still a bit of a gamble. Ferran Torres is coming in hot, scoring lots of goals, whether he's playing striker or wing, whatever position you're at, he's banging in goals. And sure, the fact Englishmen playing in London or in England, it's a shoo-in, but I think the gamble paid off for Hansi Flick. I think him getting that first header goal allowed him to have the confidence to take the shot. I don't think he would have ever taken that shot had he not already banged the goal in, right? Because the game right before, he did good, dribbling, finding in space, creating chances for. I think he put the crossing for Rafinha. But at the end of the day, he had a hard time finding the goal. He had a hard time finding the net, and the gamble paid off. And I think it brings up another topic that maybe I'm bringing up prematurely, but the fact that Barcelona is still able to get the results that we have been getting these past few weeks without Lamine Yamal is huge for the team.
So it's a good segue because this was my next topic. Flick's rotations and the fact that he is getting it all right. The game before the Champions League one, who does he put his bet on? Fermin. And who scores all the goals? Fermin. Who does he put his bet on in the Champions League? Rashford. And who scores all the goals? Rashford. And this weekend, who does he bet on? Dani Olmo. And what does Dani Olmo go and do? Assist and goal.
Dani Olmo was the man of the match for me in that game.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Ricky and I debated it in the video that we posted. I still ended up putting Ferran Torres, and I talked about in the video why, but obviously Dani Olmo had a phenomenal game.
Yeah, this past weekend, I don't know if y'all watched the live game, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you reacted to it, so yeah, you definitely did. Like the false nine play that we saw with Ferran and Liwa, and then having Olmo play like kind of go push a little bit forward, and you saw two players dropping in, and then now creating space on the wide side of the field. And it was just Olmo did exactly what like we said. Like he's gonna play a couple of games great, and then now, okay, he's not doing well. We got Fermin, which he's unfortunately injured, but he should be back. And then Ferran Torres, I honestly would have never thought I could say this, but I think he's unbenchable right now. Like how he's playing, he is phenomenal. And then he goes and after the game, he says, "Oh, we knew it was going to be a tough match, and Getafe doesn't offer anything. They just commit a lot of fouls and they just disrupt the pace," which was, I thought it was super cool of him to say, because it is true. They play so dirty every game. And then their coach is like, "Oh, that's actually disrespectful." I'm like, no, go watch every game against Barca. It's crazy. They just destroy Barca players, like left and right. But yeah, and then Ferran and Pedri's connection, I don't know what's going on. They are in some magical world together now. But yeah, I thought it was a great game.
Barca's rotations offensively seem to be working very well, and I think Real Madrid's like defensive rotations seem to be working pretty well. I think there's a pretty significant contrast there in the two, because I feel like Real Madrid's offense, Vini's coming in sometimes, not really. Mastantuono's having pretty good performances, but he's not really getting the stats that maybe we would want. Mbappe is the only one really like headlining Real Madrid. Whereas
scoring penalties left and right.
Yeah, he's also scoring from outside the box too.
Yeah. I mean, that was a dirty goal. So, all I'm trying to say is this is really starting to heat up El Clásico in the month. I mean, we have Real Madrid and Barcelona who are both just dominating La Liga. Yes, Barca dropped those 2 points, but they could also easily have the 15 out of 15. And for maybe not for once, but we have an Atletico Madrid, which we're gonna get to the power rankings soon. But an Atletico Madrid that is absolutely shitting the bed. I mean, they have 1 win out of 5, 3 ties, and I don't know what exact position they're at in La Liga, but they're looking way up.
I can look it up.
We're not even talking the Club World Cup either, because they played horribly there too.
Yeah.
One thing before we move on, as a Madrid fan, I touched on this in the first episode. I was actually really happy for Rashford, because I knew he had a lot of pressure coming in to Barca, being like, "Oh, we're getting, a Rashford that really wasn't it at Man United, had a lot of promise, and he didn't really come to what they expected of him. He moves on, and now he's coming to Barca, and it's like, well, what is this guy from the EPL going to do? Like, he was basically a Man United reject. What is he going to do here?" And it took him a while to get going. Like, you could see it on his face that he kind of lacked confidence when he was playing. He was playing the safe option. When players come on, they'd like collect the ball, make a quick move, and then they just pass it right back because they're afraid to make a mistake. And I was actually happy that he got a goal. And that second shot was amazing. And like Ricky said, he would not have taken that shot had he not had scored that header. But it's leading up to what I think is going to be interesting for both of our teams, because right now, neither team has really played a team at their level. They've played teams that that could make things difficult and interesting. But like on paper, Madrid should beat Marseille. You guys should beat Newcastle, and in the league, we should beat all these teams. Like I'm really interested to see Madrid play Liverpool when we have to face them. When you guys have to play all of the teams that you
PSG.
guys have to play,
PSG next
PSG.
week or next.
Yeah.
October 1st,
Chelsea's going
next
to be
Wednesday.
good.
So it's
Yeah.
like I'm excited to see where our teams compare right now, because I think La Liga, as it always is, but this year I think it's going to be a very close race to the end if we continue the trend and everyone stays healthy. So I'm curious to see what other comp looks like for both of our squads, because it's going to make for a really interesting year.
Yeah. No, I mean things are definitely heating up. I think the warm up phase, the preseason almost phase of this season is over, and the real punches begin. Starting with Real Madrid against Atletico this weekend, and from there on, it's Barça PSG. Madrid will play Liverpool and City soon. Barça will play Chelsea. I mean, things are really going to start heating up. And so, with that being said, before we move on to the final segment, I just want to thank everyone that is in the stream right now. We're almost an hour in. We've had a great conversation talking about Balón de Oro, talking about the Champions League, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then La Liga a little bit. So thank you guys once again. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit the like button. It's only episode 3. I mean, the season is so young. We have so much to look forward to, and we're having a great time doing it. But with that being said, I think we should move on to finish off with the rest of the Champions League. Let's veer out a little bit from just Real Madrid and Barcelona. I'm going to remind us of our power ranking that we all put together in episode 1, where we had Atletico at 10th place. That was a big conversation there. A couple other things, but we're going to use this ranking to make some modifications, because one, we had Chelsea. I think we had Chelsea play Manchester United this weekend and lose. We had Chelsea play against Bayern Munich in the Champions League and lose 3-1.
3-1. Yep.
And we had Chelsea the weekend before play against Brentford and tie 2-2 with a last-minute goal. Should Chelsea still be in that 6th position ahead of Bayern Munich?
No
I think you
shot.
put Chelsea, if you're going to put them out of the top 10, I'm fine with it. But I think you kick Atletico de Madrid out and you put Chelsea at 10. I mean, you tell me. Like I've said when we were making this power ranking, Atletico Madrid did not belong in that spot, and I think we love English teams way too much for some reason. And I know we were talking about them winning the Club World Cup. It's fine. They should not be there.
I'm okay for now with kicking Atletico Madrid out of the top 10, because obviously they're having an atrocious start to La Liga, and their game against Liverpool, they tied them up 2-2. They ended up losing 3-2. Almost tied them up 2-2 with Van Dijk scoring that last-minute goal. I think if they would have tied Liverpool 2-2, it would have been a pretty significant result. I don't know if it's an issue with Atletico Madrid not being focused enough in the La Liga games and just screwing it up. I still do think Atletico Madrid has a lot to show, but for now, I do think they've lost their spot in the top 10. And if we're contending Napoli as the team to come in, they did play against Man City and ended up losing, what was it, 3-1? 2-0.
2-0. But they had that early red card.
They had the early red card, which does hinder things.
You can't really judge them off that game because of the red card, in my opinion.
So, and it's tricky. It's tricky there. So I'm gonna start making some tweaks here to the power rankings. What are we thinking about Arsenal? Arsenal and City played.
Sorry, go.
I didn't get to see the first half, so I'm biased based on what I saw in the second half. Arsenal looked good. Arsenal looked better than City did, to be honest, in my opinion.
I mean, City parked the bus towards the end of the game. Holland is phenomenal. He's just crazy to watch still. But yeah, I thought Arsenal played great football that game. I would bring them higher. I would bring City higher also in the ranking.
So this is what I have right now. Still putting Bayern ahead of City, but City definitely showing promise. I think we can't put City ahead of Arsenal. I think Arsenal played better than City too.
Mm-hmm.
I think City still has a lot to prove again of the team that they used to be. They're still going through a big transition. So I'd still like to put them behind Bayern, but definitely showing us that City is back in a way. City is almost back.
My question with Arsenal is Gyökeres. Like, I still have yet to see a killer performance out of him in like Arsenal. I'm waiting for that. I think the moment he finds his form, and if he's able to continue it, then we really get the scariest version of Arsenal that has been kind of looking promising for the past few years, but hasn't happened yet.
Here we have a comment from Mr. Killer. Atletico will not finish 10. And Mitchell right away with a little cheeky smile. If they're lucky, they fit the top 20. I mean, I think comparing them like in their actual Champions League finishing spot, I don't think that's what this ranking fully means, because everyone plays different caliber of teams. It's not a very fair, wherever you finish in the Champions League phase is not actually what I think your actual power ranking is. But yeah, I mean, I think Atletico has to prove a lot to finish in our top 10 power ranking.
Do you guys think Atletico Madrid will even get out of the Champions League group phase?
Yes.
Yeah. I do.
I think they're going to finish. I think they're going to finish within that playoff.
They're going to finish in the playoffs. They're not going to be top 10.
No, I know, and depending on who they play, I don't think they'll win. If they're going to continue to play the way they're playing now, they're not going to win. I promise you.
And if
they're struggling against mid-table teams in La Liga.
No, for sure. Look, Atletico's not giving, and I think right now it's almost been like me, Ricky, maybe a little bit of Amir, but mainly me and Ricky that are somehow the Atletico defenders, and I don't even know why, because I hate them. And maybe I'm just giving some respect to a rival that I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be. But
I'm not just talking about the score. You need to watch the way they're
plays
playing
them this weekend.
Yes,
Real Madrid should be destroying them based off everything that the vibes that we're getting.
They come and just
I don't know if I
like
feel so confident about it.
I mean, anything can happen on any given day, but if you're just looking at the trends and the way that they're actually playing, where they were terrible in the Club World Cup, they've been terrible as they've started, and they're like
they were terrible against Liverpool. They got lucky that Llorente scored 2 goals and massive result. They almost got a tie, but you watch the game, they were terrible.
Liverpool was all over them, to be fair. I do, we do tend to see an Atletico that picks it up mid-season. I feel like, normally around like December, January, they do sometimes hit this phase where like they go on a big winning streak. And maybe that's a big part of like Simeone's playing style, where like it takes a while for players to really buy into his defensive style and then his counterattacking football. We'll see. It's definitely a long season, but not a good start for Atletico. Let's go through the other comments here. We got Mr. Killer saying Arsenal is doo-doo. I like Arsenal. I think they've made a big investment this season, and I think they played much better than City. I don't think they're doo-doo. I actually think the Champions League group stage one, I see Arsenal being second or first. Could be a little high, but I do think Arsenal is gonna battle it out. We'll see. We'll see there.
It's gonna be an interesting week, boys.
It's gonna be an interesting week. Let's see. The final Champions League games: PSG 4-0 against Atalanta without Dembélé, without Doué. I mean, they're showing
we're putting them in first, so they should do that.
Yeah, right. I mean, but all I'm trying to highlight is, even without Dembélé, even without Doué, they still go and kill an Atalanta team that I honestly rate. I mean, Atalanta has not been an easy opponent in the Champions League the past 3, 4, 5 seasons. And for them to just go and put 4 past them like that and make Atalanta literally look like a second division team was, I think, impressive. And it makes me a little more excited for the PSG Barça game after I found out that Dembélé wasn't going to be there. My final highlight game is the Juventus 4-4
Dortmund.
against Dortmund. Madrid still has to play against Juve. Let's not forget that. Juve currently is first place in Serie A. So maybe we're starting to see the rebirth of a Juve. They have the Turkish guy Yilmaz.
Yilmaz?
No, oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name. I don't know. The Turkish player who scored a banger, and he also scored a banger in the Serie A. So we'll see. You know, Juve could be a team to watch out for. Maybe in a few months they're actually in the top 10. We'll see.
I would actually put Dortmund over Chelsea in this current ranking, to be honest with you. From how they played against Juve,
Dortmund is a very volatile team. I mean, Dortmund can be offensively just super good with Adeyemi, with Girassi, but then defensively, like they can just be so
they're
bad.
shaky. Yeah,
So bad. I mean, I know Dortmund's made it to the Champions League final 2 years ago, but Dortmund is Dortmund. Like, you can't write them off. They might have a good game, but Dortmund can also go on and lose against a crappiest Bundesliga team any weekend. I don't know.
Famous last words.
This list is good to make little adjustments. I think we need to see more over the next few weeks.
That's the goal.
We start
we're
making
gonna
big adjustments.
Yeah. We're gonna be making those small adjustments as the season progresses. Guys, we're hitting that hour and 5 minute mark. I'm gonna open up the stage for any final comments and just thoughts in general about anything.
I really hope Gavi doesn't turn into another Ansu Fati situation because he's getting arthroscopic surgery again. So it was a waste of talent for Ansu Fati. I thought he had so much potential. Nothing like Yamal, but I thought he was great. And Gavi, I mean, him coming back, it's not the same Gavi. I just really hope he comes back stronger and better than last time. And then secondly, I think the situation with Julian Alvarez is very interesting. It's going to be it can be a good development for Barca if Simeone keeps subbing him mid-game, and hopefully he'll make his way to once Liwa leaves. So that's all I got.
Yeah, but I mean, we also would want a player that's cool with, having a little bit of rotation, having a little bit of competition. So
I think
yes, he's won the World Cup, but he's still too young to be showing those
demanding. Yeah.
I get like his team's not doing the best. He probably thinks he can do better, but he's still a little too young for that. But yeah, I'm also afraid that Gabi might not recover the way we wanted to. But Ansu Fati's been doing good at in Monaco.
Scored 2 goals.
Yeah, but they lost 4-1 to Club Brugge, like in Champions League. So
we'll see. We'll see.
Also, Carreras. I've been really impressed by Huijsen and Carreras. I thought they've been for 50 million. He's a great defender. And also, what is up with you guys? Y'all are trying to buy every defender in every league. Konate and Upamecano are apparently
They want to come to us for free.
They want to come to the best. They want to come to the best team in the world, bro. What do you expect?
How many defenders do you need? You're going to play him in midfield.
No, they need
Rudiger is on his way out. And
Rudiger and Alaba are done, bro. You can't.
They're old.
You can't trust. I mean, Militão had an amazing goal, but Madrid has a lot of injured players, bro.
Yeah.
But I guess for me, my last thought, Militão's goal was a freaking banger. He scores like 1 or 2 goals a year, and I'm glad that was one of them. So props to him. And I just want to say it was amazing. It felt good being back here with you boys. I love seeing all the comments from everybody. Thank you. Love seeing all the comments from everybody all around the world who are tuning in, tapping in, continue to spread this channel around. We want to get you guys part of the tribe, part of the family. We want to see you guys interact. And I don't know, did we find out who won this giveaway? Have you guys announced that yet?
And funny enough, that is the moment that I was waiting for.
Let's go.
That is the moment that was up next. And we do have a winner for Barcelona. Guys, the winner is Frankie Ramirez -E20. So Frankie Ramirez, I don't know if you're in the live stream right now, but I sure hope that you're watching episode 3 and you can leave your comment down below to celebrate your victory. But if you go to the YouTube channel, the main webpage, on there you can find our email. So that way you can shoot us an email with your contact information, your address, so that way this Barcelona jersey can be sent over to you. And I would appreciate if whenever you get the Barcelona jersey, that you do. You take a little picture, maybe holding it, with it, whatever, so that way
In
we
it,
can
out of it.
in it, out of it, with it. Yeah, you know, you call it. So, congratulations to Frankie Ramirez. You get the Barcelona jersey, and I'm very excited to announce the Madrid winner because I picked this before we started the stream, and I'm very proud to see that this winner is and has been participating in the stream left and right. Congratulations to I might mispronounce your name, but Akag, y'all help me
I
out.
cagar.
Akagar. Badnagar, Mr. Badnagar. Congratulations, my boy. You win the Real Madrid jersey. So I hope you just heard all the instructions. Make sure you send us an email with your contact information. And then I do want to see an unboxing picture or something with your jersey. Send me who you guys want. You can get your own name, whatever number you want, or you can also just get whatever player that you want. So shout out to Mr. Badnagar for the big dub. You're so very welcome, and thank you for participating so much in this live stream. Final shout outs, guys. Send us your final comments so that way you can be featured. Alguraba, let's go. Hey man, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. He's saying congrats to all the winners. So so definitely a good time.
We'll do more giveaways soon, guys. We will do more giveaways. We are happy to grow this family, grow this tribe. So keep on commenting, keep on spreading the word. We want to keep growing this channel. And one day it's going to be your turn and you're going to get your own Real Madrid jersey.
Or Barca jersey. The better jersey.
Just not the
Also,
salmon one.
Not the salmon one.
Not the
Join
salmon one.
Fantasy League. We're going strong for match day 2. So Fantasy League.
Yes, I think we have over 100 people in that fantasy league.
Yeah,
Guys. So you guys
yeah.
are really tapping in.
Insane. You guys are killing it.
Insane. I honestly expected maybe to have like 30, 40. When I saw there was over 100, I was like, oh hell. So with that being said, whatever the winner is, we'll also get jerseys. The top 5 get jerseys. Everyone gets jerseys. No, guys. Well, thank you once again very much for joining in. We reached over an hour. We talked about the Balón de Oro, the Melé, Lamine Yamal. We talked about the Champions League. We talked about La Liga. This week we have Real Madrid against Levante. I believe Barcelona play against Real Sociedad. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then this weekend Real Madrid Atletico, a big one. Maybe that will be the first live stream that Ricky and I do that Amir and Michel can join in. We'll have a little more conversation about it. And but yeah, good times. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, guys, we'll see you guys next Monday for episode 4 of the VAR Check podcast. For now, see you later.